Hello everyone, this is Nishtha from Nish Online Interior Design, Paint Color Consultation and Home Decor Content Writing. Today I'm back here with another color review and I'm talking about one of the most popular greige paint colors by Sherwin Williams today. Now I've already talked about accessible beige and I've already addressed agreeable grey, which are this paint color's counterparts, but at the same time this color is equally popular, much admired by homeowners and designers, and you're bound to love this greige paint color if you're inclining slightly on the cooler end of the scale. So any guesses which paint color that I'm going to be talking about today? Well, yes, Sherwin Williams Repose Gray. Well, Sherwin Williams Repose Gray is a popular cool inclined greige paint color that has more grey than beige to it. Now greige paint colors are a blend of grey and beige, and in this specific paint color we definitely can see more grey than beige. So this is not an icy cool crisp grey paint color like, let's say, Sherwin Williams Fur Star or Sherwin Williams Light French Grey, but at the same time it has a wink of taupe and brown with a wink of green undertone that can make it just slightly warmer. So if you're particularly intrigued by the grey paint colors but don't want to go too icy, crisp or cool, then Sherwin Williams Repose Gray is definitely your answer. I personally love the look of Sherwin Williams Repose Gray on kitchen cabinets, on built-in shelves in your living room and dining space, your home office cabinets, your laundry cabinets, the mudroom and foyer cabinets, and even interior doors. Particularly more than the walls, I prefer a look of Sherwin Williams Repose Gray on these architectural elements in a home. So definitely one of the best greige paint colors, one of the best selling greige paint colors, and also one of the top 50 paint colors by Sherwin Williams. Well, in this color review, I'm going to disclose everything you need to know about Sherwin Williams Repose Gray. We're going to discuss the undertones, light reflectance values, where and how to use the color in your home, color comparisons, FAQs, and much more. So, what color is Sherwin Williams Repose Gray? Now, Sherwin Williams Repose Gray is definitely a warm grey or a greige paint color which is more inclined to the cooler end of the scale. So, just like Sherwin Williams Agreeable Gray is a greige paint color which inclines more on the warmer end of the scale, Repose Gray is more on the grey or the cool end of the scale. Now, this paint color is so timeless, classic, and if you're personally fond of the neutral paint colors in your home, and if you don't want to go super bright or dark, or if you don't want to experiment with, let's say, blue greens and green greys and other color families out there, then Sherwin Williams Repose Gray is a classic neutral that will also play timeless and will never feel outdated in the coming years. So this modern greige paint color can work effortlessly in most of the interior design styles like transitional, modern farmhouse homes, even French country, traditional, and other classic and neutral, modern classic or neoclassical interior design styles. Now this color can also be used as a whole house color scheme if you have a medium or a larger size home that receives ample incoming natural light. And let me tell you, Sherwin Williams Repose Gray is so versatile that it can be used for warmer as well as cooler tone color palettes. So even if you have majorly greens, greys and blues in your home, Repose Gray can make a nice balance between all of them and play a very monochromatic role. At the same time, in your warmer tone homes, this color can equally blend beautifully with your creamy off-whites, but you must avoid off-whites with yellow undertones. But in general, lighter greige paint colors out there, darker charcoal greys and even bronze paint colors. So, homeowners often wonder whether Sherwin Williams Repose Gray is a warm tone color or a cool tone color. Well, by now it can be quite confusing to know if this paint color is warmer tone, if it's cooler tone. I mentioned it under the warm grey color category, but I'm also mentioning that it's a grey paint color and it's a cooler inclined greyish paint color. So all in all, it can truly also depend on the compass direction and the type of incoming natural light that you have in your home that can end up making repose grey look too grey or too cool, or at the same time slightly on the warmer end of the scale. But in general, Sherwin Williams Repose Gray is definitely a warm grey paint color which has major cool undertones. So I would classify this color more under the cooler end of the scale, or like the cooler color category, but with the slightest touch of taupe or warm undertones to it. So if you place a swatch of Sherwin Williams Agreeable Grey, Repose Grey and Accessible Beige, you will find Repose Grey to be the greyest of all. Meanwhile, if you place a swatch of Sherwin Williams Repose Grey, Light French Grey and Agreeable Grey, you will observe the slightest hint of warmth in this color. So now do you see, this color is not very easy to deal with. Now, homeowners often also wonder if Sherwin Williams Repose Grey is too dark for them. So let me tell you, Sherwin Williams Repose Grey has the potential to slightly make the space look dull, and it can totally weigh down a space because of its stony, warm grey undertones. Well, that's why I generally recommend that you pair this paint color in a larger home or a medium-sized home that receives ample incoming natural light. So let's say if you plan to use this paint color in your master bedroom and you have ample larger windows to accommodate the incoming natural light, this paint color can truly work the best. But especially for your north-facing rooms, or if your room has a smaller window or a window that receives very low incoming natural light, or in your low light rooms, Repose Grey is definitely something that you should stay away from. This paint color plays its best when it's in the south or the west facing rooms that receive ample incoming natural light. So be careful around using this paint color if you want to make your space feel bright, airy, spacious and light. Now, homeowners often also wonder whether Agreeable Grey is a better option or Repose Grey is a better option. After all, they both are cousins, right? They're quite similar to each other and they're often comparable against each other. So in my books, I generally prefer Agreeable Grey over Repose Grey, because let me tell you, Agreeable Grey is definitely more timeless, it's more classic. It has a blend of both warm and cool, but it lies somewhere on the neutral end of the scale. Meanwhile, Repose Grey is more on the cooler end of the scale, so it's very specific to certain type of warmer palettes and majorly cooler tone color palettes. Moreover, if you're looking to pair other architectural finishes and flooring with Repose Grey, it cannot be as easy as you can pair the floorings and hardwood and fixtures with Agreeable Grey. So let's discuss about the undertones of Sherwin Williams Repose Grey. So let me tell you, all in all, in general, Sherwin Williams Repose Grey is more on the neutral end of the scale. It's not super icy cool grey, but it's not like super beige warm color as well. But under certain lighting conditions, Repose Grey has the potential to showcase a wink of violet or green undertone, but let me tell you, it is not very dominant though. So I would highly recommend that you sample out this paint color in various lighting conditions for several days to observe how this color feels like in your space when it receives different kinds of light all day long. So this paint color definitely is more neutral, but just a wink of green can sometimes show up under certain lighting conditions. Even violet undertone is subjected to some architectural finishes that you are pairing this paint color with. So let's say if you have exposed brick or some kind of natural stone cladding in your home, then this paint color can showcase a wink of, let's say, violet sometimes or green, but again, it is not super dominant that it should make you doubt this paint color. So in the north facing rooms, Sherwin Williams Repose Grey can come off quite cool all day long, because most of the incoming natural light is cool and blue in the north facing rooms. This color can further tend to outcast a grey undertone which is dominant, while the warmth in this color takes the backstage. So north facing room is not the best option to be used Repose Grey in. On the other hand, in the south facing rooms, this color can balance off its warmth with the incoming natural light without looking too warm or too grey. So definitely one of the best compass directions to use Repose Gray in. Now thirdly, in your east and west facing rooms, this color can definitely play a true chameleon. So in the east facing rooms, it can feel muted and soft and not warm in the morning, but as the sun sets, it can get quite cold and dreary. On the other hand, in the west facing rooms, it feels muted in the mornings and quite bright and warm based greige paint color in the later afternoon hours with the glowy sunshine that enters the space. So now that we've discussed about the undertones of this beautiful Repose Gray paint color, let's get started with the LRV. Now the LRV stands for light reflectance value, that determines how light or dark a paint color is based on a scale of 0 to 100. Now Sherwin Williams Repose Gray has an LRV of 58, which means that it falls on the medium end of the scale. It's not a super light greige paint color. At the same time, it's not too bold and dominating as well. So if you're looking for a greige paint color to make an accent in a space, Repose Gray may not be the best option. I mean, in that case, you can go with much darker paint colors like Dorian Gray or Azure or Dovetail. On the other hand, if you're simply looking to paint all the walls of your, let's say, master bedroom which has moldings, your wall moldings, then this paint color can make a beautiful appeal as a neutral or a base, but definitely not an accent. So homeowners have often asked me whether they should use Repose Gray as a whole house color. Well, I would say that Repose Gray can definitely work as a whole house color scheme, but in that case you need to consider the square footage of your home and the amount and compass directions of your space. The amount of incoming natural light is also an important factor when considering Repose Gray as a whole house color scheme, because it truly has a tendency to weigh down a space, look dull or dingy under certain lighting conditions. So let's say if your living, dining, open concept area faces a south facing compass direction with ample incoming natural light, then Repose Gray can be a great option as far as you have larger square footage. But for smaller homes or homes that have lesser windows or almost no incoming natural light, then this color can be avoided with some lighter greige paint colors or off-white paint colors. So are you wondering where and how to use Repose Gray paint color in your home? Well, this paint color can be used as a perfect base or a neutral in your home. You can choose to use the Sherwin Williams greige color for all the common walls of your home or neutral bedroom walls, kitchen cabinets, exteriors, and a base on all the walls of your open concept living and dining. Since this color has a balanced and neutral base, you can choose this Repose Gray color for the warm as well as cool tone color palettes. Especially for interior design styles like modern, contemporary, transitional, traditional, modern farmhouse, French country and mid-century modern, this cool tone warm grey color will work phenomenally. As a base and neutral, this color can be used as a contrast with accent walls, cabinets, vanity, wainscoting or shutters. You can use it in bedroom walls, exterior walls, ceiling and trims, exterior shutters and trims, open concept living and dining, hallways, kitchen cabinets, bathroom walls, bathroom vanity, laundry room cabinets, mudroom and foyer cabinets, home office walls, interior doors, exterior doors, moldings, kids' rooms, and even family rooms. Here's a well curated pre-made color palette that I have created for Sherwin Williams Repose Gray on Etsy. It enlists all the exact colors that pair with Repose Gray color, including how and where to use them in your whole house color palette. I have included 5 color palettes with Sherwin Williams Repose Gray and complementary hues, along with how to use each of those paint colors in various areas of your home. You'll also get the detailed material and fabric palette with each of Sherwin Williams Repose Gray color palettes. Another bonus is paint planner and a detailed guide on paint schemes for various areas of your home. Now you can easily find this pre-packaged color palette listing on my Etsy shop as well as my website under the digital products section. I've added the links in the description box below. Apart from this paint color, you're bound to find many of other Sherwin Williams as well as Benjamin Moore pre-packaged color palettes out there on my Etsy shop and website. So if you're looking to choose paint color for your homes in an affordable way, these color palettes are definitely something that you can have an eye on. I'm also offering one-on-one phone or video consultation where I can directly get in touch with you over a video or a phone call and help you choose the best paint colors for your home. So now that we've discussed the various nitty-gritties of the paint color, the technicality like the undertones, the LRV, some real-time images, we've also talked about how this color behaves in various lighting conditions. Let's see what colors go best with Sherwin Williams Repose Gray. Here's a list of Sherwin Williams white paint colors that go with Repose Gray: Origami White, Eider White, Heron Plume. Here's a list of blue colors that go with Repose Gray: Navel, Granite Peak, Mineral Grey, Cyberspace. Here's a list of greyish colors that go with Repose Grey: Dorian Grey, Urbane Bronze, Dovetail. And lastly, here's a list of green grey colors that go with Repose Grey: Rainwashed, Artichoke, Cornwall Slate. Now let me tell you, these are not the only colors that go with Repose Gray, but there can be a ton of other paint color options as well that can pair well with this paint color. So if you have any questions regarding some other color that I didn't mention, you can always drop in your questions in the comment box below and I will definitely reach out to you. Now the next we're going to talk about the trim paint colors for your Repose Gray walls. Now here are 4 major options that you can go with. Now firstly, Sherwin Williams Pure White is my definite go-to ceiling paint color if you have Repose Gray walls. This is a classic and neutral soft white color that will not alter the undertones of Repose Gray, and at the same time it can make a beautiful and calming appeal altogether. Now another option can be high reflective white. So if you're looking for a cleaner and brighter and starker look, then high reflective white can also work as a ceiling or a trim paint color to go with Repose Gray. But I must warn you that this is a super bright and clean paint color. So it might look institutional at some times and it can definitely make your Repose Gray walls slightly duller than what they already are. So definitely pure white would be my first choice. High reflective white is still good to go. You can also go with Benjamin Moore Chantilly Lace, Behr Ultra Pure White, and lastly, one of the best ways to create a moody and dramatic statement is by adding Repose Gray on the ceilings, trims and baseboards or moldings as well. So if you're looking for a dreamy and moody look and you're choosing to paint all the surfaces in one color, then Repose Gray can play a beautiful role without really overwhelming the space. But of course, you have to choose different sheens for different surfaces of the room. Now lastly, let's talk about other similar paint colors that share tons and tons of similarities with Repose Gray. Well, you may find Repose Gray slightly on the warmer end of the scale or slightly more cooler. Maybe you're looking for something which is slightly warmer than Repose Gray or slightly cooler than Repose Gray. Maybe something lighter than this paint color or darker than this paint color. Well, in this situation, I'm going to be discussing some similar paint color that shares similarities and you can absolutely consider them for your home. And the first similar paint color on my list is Sherwin Williams Agreeable Gray. Now, like I mentioned earlier, that these two paint colors are very popularly compared against each other. Now, Agreeable Gray is definitely on the warmer end of the scale with an LRV of 60, which means that it's slightly lighter than Repose Gray and also has more warmth as compared to Repose Gray. Now, Repose Gray has an LRV of 58, which means that it has more depth to itself. And if you're looking for a more cooler inclined grayish color, then Repose Gray would make a better choice. Now the next similar paint color on my list is Sherwin Williams Big Chill. So let's say Repose Gray seems slightly warmer to you and you're looking for something which is slightly lesser dark as well, then Sherwin Williams Big Chill is definitely good to go. Now Big Chill is not an icy or crisp cool grey paint color. It's more or less a grey paint color with just a wink of warmth to it. It definitely has lesser warmth as compared to Repose Gray and it's definitely much lighter than Repose Gray with an LRV of 62. Now the next similar paint color on my list is Sherwin Williams Crushed Ice. Now, if you're particularly intrigued by the undertones of this color and you don't want to go with warmer or cooler paint color, then Sherwin Williams Crushed Ice is definitely something to have an eye on. Now, this color has an LRV of 66, which means that it's way lighter than Sherwin Williams Repose Gray. So, if you want to stick to the undertones and if you want to stick to the particular amount of warmth that this color has to offer, but a lighter paint color, then Crushed Ice can make a better choice. And lastly, another similar paint color is Sherwin Williams Mindful Gray. Now, if you're looking for something which is slightly darker than Repose Gray, you love the undertones of this color and you love the overall vibe and the blend of warmth and cool in this color, but are looking for something more bold and dominating, then Mindful Gray makes a beautiful appeal. It has an LRV of 48, which means that it can actually make an accent, which Repose Gray wouldn't make the best option over there. So, what are your thoughts on my color review on Sherwin Williams Repose Gray? Well, I personally like this paint color. I'm quite restrictive about it, but I still love this paint color for certain interior design styles and certain spaces of a home. And if you too love this paint color, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do let me know what you think about this paint color, and if you've used this paint color in your home, I would love to see some pictures. You can drop me an email on my website www.nishthasadana.com, and don't forget to check out my Etsy shop for some pre-packaged color palettes out there. Lastly, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I'm coming up with such color related videos every Monday. Bye.